If you've been trying to lose weight, change how you look and feel like nothing is working anymore, this video is exactly what you need. If you've ever found yourself asking, what's the best type of exercise for me? Or wondering, why am I eating healthy but still not seeing results? Or feeling frustrated thinking, why does weight loss feel impossible at my age? I've been there, I've asked all those same questions, and today I'm going to answer them based on what actually worked for me. Hi, I'm Petra Jenko, and today I'm going to share the 6 things I had to do completely differently in order to lose 30 pounds at 54 and finally feel confident in my body again. These are real practical changes that any woman can do, especially if you're over 40 and feeling like your body just doesn't respond to the way it used to. Wouldn't it feel amazing to finally love the way you look, to feel strong, confident and healthy without obsessing over the scale or constantly second guessing yourself? That's exactly what I want for you. So let me share the 6 changes that helped me create my dream body and how you can use them to transform your life too. First, we have to start with something that most people don't want to hear, but absolutely need to. If you're not being honest with yourself about your current lifestyle choices and your unhealthy habits, you will never see results. And I get it, self-honesty can be uncomfortable. Sometimes it means admitting to habits we'd rather ignore. Looking back on my own journey, I had 2 bad habits that really stick out to me now, which were drinking too much alcohol and snacking far too much. However, at the time, it was very hard for me to admit that these choices were sabotaging my weight loss because I didn't want to admit I was choosing to be unhealthy. But here's the thing, without being aware of our unhealthy choices, we can't change them. If you don't take an honest look at your current habits, you're going to keep spinning your wheels, making no progress and wondering why nothing is working. So ask yourself, am I really being as healthy as I think I am? Let's start with something simple like sleep. You might say, oh yeah, I sleep fine. But what does that actually mean? Are you getting consistent, high quality sleep most nights of the week? Or are you having 1 or 2 decent nights and then 4 or 5 where you're up late, scrolling on your phone, waking up feeling exhausted? We massively underestimate how much poor sleep sabotages our health and especially our weight. Lack of sleep raises our cortisol, disrupts our hunger hormones and makes us crave sugary, high-calorie foods. So no, it's not just about getting by, it's about being honest about what your body truly needs. And then there's alcohol. Maybe you only drink on the weekends, but are the weekends starting on Thursday now? Is 1 glass of wine turning into 2 or 3? Alcohol not only adds hidden calories, but it disrupts your sleep, spikes your appetite the next day and lowers your motivation to exercise or eat well. I used to drink a glass of wine every single night with my dinner and doubled it on the weekends. And I justified it by saying, I've had a long day, or it's the weekend and I deserve it. And the same goes for food. Are you really sticking to healthy eating? Or are those just 1 bite moments adding up? A few spoonfuls of ice cream while watching TV, sneaky little snacks between meals that you forget even happened? We often tell ourselves we're eating healthy, but when we zoom out and look honestly at our habits, we realise this isn't the full truth. This is how fat gain can happen in our 40s and beyond. It's not always through giant binges, but through consistent low-level overeating and daily habits we're not aware of. So before you start a new meal plan, exercise routine, or trying another challenge, you need to start here with honesty. This is not about shaming yourself. It's about saying, okay, here's what's really going on. And now that I can see clearly, I can finally do something about it. Now, if you're currently doing something to try and lose weight, just ask yourself, do you actually enjoy it? Can you see yourself doing this not just for the next 30 days, but for the next 30 months? Because here's the truth, weight loss is not a short-term sprint, it's a lifestyle shift. And if the things you're doing right now feel miserable, restrictive, or exhausting, that's a massive problem. You're not just setting yourself for burnout, you're setting yourself up to quit. Your weight loss journey should not feel like punishment. It shouldn't feel like you're suffering through a bland diet and forcing yourself to do workouts you hate. That mindset, the just push through until I get skinny mindset, is one of the biggest reasons women never see lasting results. So ask yourself, do I look forward to my meals or do I dread them? Am I moving my body in a way that energizes me or in a way that drains me? Because here's the real goal, not just to lose weight, but to create a life that feels better. One where you feel strong, healthy and confident. A life where you wake up feeling energized, not exhausted. When you enjoy the process, staying consistent becomes 10 times easier. You stop relying on motivation because you're not forcing yourself, you're choosing what you enjoy doing. Because we've all tried to go on a crash diet for a few weeks and an extreme workout plan when we got desperate enough. But what happened when life got stressful or when our motivation dipped? We're back at square one after a couple of weeks. That's why the real key is consistency. And consistency only happens when you build habits and routines that feel aligned with the life you actually want. This is a huge reason which led me to create my weight loss program, The Lady Change. Everything I saw about weight loss for women on menopause looked miserable. Our bodies, hormones and lives have changed too much to be doing intense workouts every day for hours at a gym and eating a salad-only diet. So I put together the complete guide you need to lose up to 20 pounds of fat in just a few weeks, all from the comfort of your own home and without restrictive dieting. And the best part about it is the amazing community you join when you become a member. You don't have to try and do this alone anymore. There's already over 1,000 women in the community who will support and encourage you on your journey. This is a place where you feel understood and where you can make friends for life. Every lady in the Lady Change who has seen amazing results like Sharon have enjoyed the process and have fallen in love with their new healthy lifestyle. It's completely free to start, so you can join me and take a step towards transforming your body and your confidence without any risk. And I don't want you to be obsessed over how fast you can lose weight. Instead, ask yourself, how can I make this enjoyable and build a routine I actually want to stick to? Because the women who lose weight and keep it off, they're not the ones doing extreme things for short bursts. They're the ones who found something that fits their life and makes them want to keep going. The third truth about weight loss is you can't out-exercise a bad diet, and that's actually really good news. Yes, workouts are important, and we'll talk about that soon. But if your goal is to lose fat, then what you're eating matters more than how many workouts you're doing. And I know for a lot of women that can be frustrating to hear that first, but actually it should be a relief. Because it means you don't need to spend hours in the gym every day to start seeing progress. You don't need to punish yourself with endless workouts trying to burn off last night's dinner. Weight loss comes down to one simple truth. You need to consume fewer calories than your body uses. This is called a calorie deficit. And here's the kicker. It's way easier to create that deficit by managing your food intake than trying to burn it off through exercise. Think about it. Eating a bag of chips takes, 2 minutes? That's 300 to 400 calories right there. To burn that off, you need to do nearly an hour of cardio. An hour of your time just to cancel out one snack that barely made you full. That's a game you'll never win. Now, does this mean you have to live on lettuce and give up all your favourite foods forever? Absolutely not. In fact, the last thing I want for you is to follow a diet that feels restrictive and leaves you constantly starving. You should never be forcing your way through hunger just to see a smaller number on the scale. That's not sustainable and it's definitely not healthy. The goal is to not eat less, it's to eat smarter. Because once you understand what foods support your body and which ones secretly are holding you back, everything changes. You'll start to feel more in control, more energized, and with less obsessed with food. Healthy eating stops being a chore and starts becoming second nature. The secret? Focus on whole, nutrient-dense foods, lean proteins like chicken, beef and beans, plenty of veggies, healthy fats like avocado and fibre-rich carbs like sweet potato. These foods keep you full, keep your energy steady and naturally help you stay in a calorie deficit without feeling deprived. And the beautiful part is, once you get into a rhythm with it, it becomes enjoyable. You'll stop seeing food as the enemy. So no, you can't out-exercise a bad diet, but you don't need to. Because when you get your nutrition right, you'll feel better, move better and sleep better. We just talked about the importance of not overeating, but the fourth thing to understand if you want to lose weight is this. Calories are not created equal, especially for women over 40. This is a big one and I want you to really hear it. Just because something is low calorie doesn't mean it supports fat loss. There's this old school idea, As long as you're in a calorie deficit, you'll lose weight. That may have worked in your 20s and 30s, but with hormonal changes of perimenopause and menopause, it's just not that simple. Your body isn't playing by the same rules. Hormones now play a bigger role, and processed, low-quality foods can really throw them completely off. Things like packaged snacks, low-fat yogurts, sugary protein bars, and healthy cereals aren't just empty calories. They're full of artificial ingredients, sugars that spike cravings, cause inflammation, and knock your system out of balance. So even if your calories seem low, these foods can make weight loss feel impossible, and it's often unconscious. A handful here, a soda there, a few sips of wine, it all adds up. That's where many women get stuck. You're thinking, I'm barely eating, why am I not losing weight? But when you zoom in, the picture becomes clearer. Are you having fizzy drinks or juices, going heavy on sauces and dressings, grabbing packaged snacks between meals? Those sneaky calories add up, and over time they move the scale in the wrong direction. Now here's what does work. And it's beautifully simple. Whole, single ingredient foods. Foods from the earth or an animal, not a factory. Lean meats, eggs, veggies, fruits, nuts, healthy fats. They nourish your body, support your hormones, and keep you satisfied. They're naturally lower in calories, higher in nutrients, and don't trigger that roller coaster of hunger and cravings. And the best part, you don't need to starve yourself or count every calorie. When you eat this way, you will feel full, eat less, and have more energy. So yes, calories matter, but where they come from matters just as much. And if you want sustainable fat loss and better health, keep it simple. Eat real food with ingredients you recognise. Stick to food that doesn't come with a shiny wrapper or a health claim on it. Do that and your body will thank you in ways you can feel and see. Earlier, I promised you to talk about exercise, so here we go. When it comes to exercising, I want you to stop focusing on just burning calories. Let's be honest, for so many women, exercise has become something we do to burn off what we ate. We get stuck in this cycle of chasing calorie burn, obsessively checking our fitness trackers, trying to push harder and sweat more in every single workout, and it's exhausting. You might find yourself forcing yourself into hour-long cardio sessions every day, telling yourself, I'll just do a bit more, I'll lose weight faster. But here's the truth, cardio is not the golden ticket to fat loss, and overdoing it can actually work against you. When you do intense cardio too often, especially long duration sessions every single day, it can drive your cortisol levels through the roof. Cortisol is your body's main stress hormone, and if it stays high for too long, it can make fat loss even harder, especially around the belly area. Not to mention, it leaves you feeling tired, drained and frustrated. You end up chasing results and getting none and wondering what you're doing wrong. That's why I want you to stop thinking about exercise in terms of how many calories it burns and instead start thinking about how you can become a more active person overall. Because here's something most people don't realise. Daily movement, the simple low intensity kind, is far more effective for long-term fat loss than exhausting yourself in the gym every day for us women around the menopausal stage of life. Things like walking, standing, moving around the house, active hobbies, it all adds up and it puts far less stress on your body. Think about how much time you spend sitting in the day, in the car, at your desk, on the couch, at the dinner table, and for most of us, it's hours and hours. And when our daily movement is that low, no workout, no matter how intense, can make up for that sedentary lifestyle. So instead of just pushing hard for an hour and then sitting for the rest of the day, let's build a lifestyle around consistent moving. Go on 2 to 3 brisk walks each day, even 10 to 15 minutes at a time makes a difference. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Start an outdoor hobby, hiking, cycling, gardening, swimming, something you enjoy. Walk while you're on the phone. Move more whenever you can. These things burn just as many calories over time as running does, but without the inflammation, exhaustion, or high cortisol. And then on top of that, I want you to start strength training 3 to 5 times a week. That doesn't mean you have to become a bodybuilder. Just pick up some light dumbbells to start, or even just your own body weight. Strength training builds muscle, and muscle is metabolically active, which means the more lean muscle you have, the more calories you burn all day long, even when you're resting. I have plenty of routines that you can follow along to on my workout channel, Petra Jenko Workouts. This is the real secret to putting fat loss on autopilot. You're not constantly having to work harder just to maintain. Your metabolism becomes more efficient, your body becomes stronger, and so instead of chasing calorie burn with cardio, I want you to focus on movement. Move more during the day, train smart, not hard, and build strength, not stress. Lastly, you need to understand that allowing your body to recover is just as important as exercise. This was one of the hardest things for me to learn. You might be thinking, how can I lose weight if I'm not exercising every day? And trust me, I used to think the same way. I believed rest days were lazy days and that pushing harder meant faster results, but that mindset always backfires. For women over 40, more isn't always better. Recovery is just as important as your workouts. Your body repairs, rebuilds, and grows muscle while at rest, not when you're lifting weights. If you constantly push without recovering, cortisol rises, inflammation builds, and weight loss stalls, or even reverses. Instead of asking, what more can I do? Start asking, how can I better support my body today? So yes, stay consistent, eat well, strength train a few times a week, stay active. But don't push yourself with extreme workouts. Lasting weight loss comes from simple habits done consistently without burnout. Trust your body and give it the rest it deserves and enjoy the journey. I really hope you found this video helpful and inspiring. And if you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an upload. I'm here every week sharing real, honest advice to help you lose weight and feel amazing through menopause. And if you're ready to take things to the next level and get direct support from me, I'd love to invite you to join the Lady Change. It's my complete step-by-step program where I've poured everything in that I've learned about fat loss for women over 40, especially during menopause. And the best part, you can start for free. So if you're ready to take control of your body and finally feel confident again, give it a try. I promise you won't regret it. Thank you so much for being here with me today, and I'll see you in the next video.